Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. Today, we are covering The Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 17. I think this is episode 6, maybe 7. I missed last week, and I do apologize for that. And we'll talk about that in just a second, but I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can also subscribe, and you can share. Now, let's get into this week's episode. Y'all, so you saw what I saw. So we gonna see each other on this, or are we about to rock it out? Because what were we watching last night? I agreed with another content creator, the Brooke Ashley. Shout out to her. She was like, I really don't know what I'm going to give for this review because all I got is just question marks. And it's just like the fan base of not Roa, but of K Michelle, still rocking for her, and we're confused. How are you? How? And then you're trying to make it okay for what she's doing. I'm not getting it. But anyways, so this is my writing pad. Why? When I stopped watching this show last night, I had about these many notes on one little page. I've had to watch this show 3 times to try to get some content and to get some type of clarity as to what's going on. I'm gonna go by what I wrote down because it's a lot, y'all. But I'm gonna get out of my dramatics. Um, Last week at the end, Kelly and Portia, they were fighting. I missed it. I didn't review it, and they were talking more. What at least Portia was now was saying more that Kelly did sleep with a married man. She knows who it is, and Phaedra can back it up. And this is what I'll say because this is probably add a little bit of time to this review. The two folks from season 9 that were plotting against Candy Burris are now the epicenter of truth. Let that rest with y'all if y'all want to believe it, because now Phaedra is backing it up. Who don't really want to admit the truth about what she did to Candy. Kelly asked who it was. Portia won't do that, but she'll call Kelly every hoe and slut that there is. I don't know if this is going to be clipped on YouTube, but I said it. But then she said no, and Portia said it also. Oh, we're not going to let his name out there. We want to protect the wife. In a sense, maybe I can get that because, the wife don't know all that crap, but then y'all would try to call each other's girls. Y'all will protect a man in his hold'em, but make sure that the woman, the mistress, the jump off, is seen as the slut. I don't like it. And the way that this evolved cast, as y'all said that Roa is evolving, still operates in misogyny and white patriarchy or patriotism. But we're evolving. Oh, this is a different show. This is a different. Why? I mean, we're still doing the same things. But for some reason, women beat up on women. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about last week? Look, Kelly was the one to activate Portia. Like or hate her. Because what has been the thing that Portia has been doing for the past 2 years on this show? Silent crickets. She'll give you the silent treatment. And y'all been like, yes, Portia, don't give her anything. Now, she may be now choosing when she gonna get activated or whatever. That could be a possibility. But Kelly is the one that was able to wake her up. And cool. But I just think that Portia's trying to get her lick back based on her behavior last season. Anyways, they talked about Pinky's aggression. And a lot of people, some people are going up for her. And other people are not. What I will say is that I feel like the people that are caping for Pinky are the ones that are trying to rescue her from all of the tweets out there that are quite nasty. Do I see them all? No, but it's quite a lot of featureism, xenophobia that's going on. That is not fair. Y'all did that to Wendy. Wendy Osefo from Potomac. And then basically Wendy then got a whole body transplant to try to fit into the status quo. And we can say, oh, Wendy looks good. No, she's trying to fit into y'all's world at what y'all think pretty is. I have no problem with that as far at how Pinky looks, her appearance. I really don't. But for Pinky can always talk about other people's looks, though. She started that mess with Angela talking about looks. If you go shade from the read off from 2 weeks ago, and Pinky this past week, she was trying to find ways to get back at Angela. She's not facing her head on as of yet, but she wants her lick back, even though that they were supposed to squash that at the dinner thing. If y'all are paying attention, and I'm not coming down on y'all, but just pay attention as to what's going on, please. Pinky, and to the world, aggression doesn't have to be. Doesn't mean that you are jumping over tables, threatening to hit someone like Perfect Portia, but y'all just are okay with Perfect Portia. Y'all have settled that she's been bullied, and that's why she does what she do. Anyways, let me move on. But you were aggressive. Some people say, okay, well, at least it's black women saying it and not some white folks that could. I know it's a trigger word within the black culture. But don't weaponize it against a person, and don't weaponize it as a way to get out of accountability. If you are, you are. You like a lot of male energy around you, Pinky. You don't get along with women, but you decided to join a woman ensemble show. Tell me why. And it's not human nature. Shout out to Michael Jackson. It's not that. Pinky, you like to be competitive. A man had to humble you because of the way that you have to operate. I think that you don't know how to shut down from business mode to Pinky mode, that your husband has had to catch that type of energy from you. Was it a good thing for Mr. Derek to say? No, because it's going to always make it look like he's in competition with you, he's jealous of you, and all of that. I get what it's like that you would have had to be a certain way, especially in this business world, as a black woman. And then now you got all these folks that have conspired against you to try to take your business. And you're paying the grunt for it, paying all of it. I get all that, but I don't know if there is a soft Pinky anywhere. But anyways, yeah. So I'm done with last week's episode. They continue on with this fight, Portia and Kelly. At the end, Portia was accusing Kelly of wanting her punani. That's a 90s term. And Kelly was like, I don't want your Frito chili cheese punani. Basically, it's a hot box. Portia goes into something that happened in Miami when they were traveling back to the States from the Grenada trip. Portia was taking a whole bath. Portia says that Kelly saw her punani and said, ooh, I want a piece of that. Portia brushed it off and made sure that she stayed away from her. But I thought she was standing behind Shamia, and Shamia said that I didn't hear it. How you and Kelly are operating this season, I ain't hear nothing. You heard something. I can't trust Kelly and Shamia as to how they want to operate in this group and with each other. Do I believe it? I don't know. The real beef between Portia and Kelly is a man. Claudia Jordan revealed it. Both Kelly and Portia were dating the same man. One of them caught feelings. That's the real clash. It's not about this married man, all that crap. Why they're not talking about it on this show, I have no clue. That's the real beef. And Portia actually confirmed what Claudia was saying on her Amazon Live. So Claudia wasn't lying. She wasn't fishing. She knows about that. And Portia said, yep, what Claudia says is true. So all this fool-la-la crap, Portia, everybody don't want you. And I'm really surprised that any black man wants you at this point. And why I say that? Because one thing you don't do is scam a black man and think that you're going to get another chance to do it. And it's documented on TV. It's out there. You'll get an actor, Mike, to come on this show and pretend to be your man, ready for hire. Anyways, basically, she said, Kelly said, I don't want that. I'd get a rose. A rose is a sex toy. And I know mostly women will watch this review, so y'all know what I'm talking about. And then they got on the subject of everybody, oh, I like my sex, my rose. Da, 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 da. And then K. Michelle is just looking like, what's going on? And they're like, what's happening? Y'all were just tearing each other apart, and then now y'all are okay? She can't really fathom the fact that this is actually happening. And they said, yeah, I mean, it's good. Cynthia said, you know, some things are just in the moment, and some things do linger on. But Kay wasn't getting it. We get to this restaurant. Pinky is tore up. And she has to vomit. They sit down and they're waiting for her a little bit. They got some appetizers and all that. And Cynthia goes and checks on her. Why not Shamia and Kelly, since they're such besties now, checking on her? Even though during Watch What Happens Live, Kelly said a couple weeks ago that they went over to the table because I knew Pinky needed some support. What do you mean? You didn't even know what was going on. No, producers told y'all tails, y'all unwashed tails, to get up over there and be a part of the thing. You thought that your scene was going to outshadow as y'all be having the cloud over your head, like on with Charlie Brown. I forgot the one that has the cloud over their head. You thought your scene was going to, and you thought y'all was going to dominate the whole show or this episode if you guys are over here and nothing could actually be done. But Angela and Pinky got the job done. So you say that you support Pinky, but y'all don't go check up on her. Cynthia went to go check on her. Cynthia said, okay, well, I think she was going to get her some crackers or bread, because I guess she basically drinking all this tequila on an empty stomach. They said that they will leave, but we're going to wait for Pinky to at least get her stomach settled, because we're going to be traveling back and we don't need no accidents on the road. So anyways, they're getting appetizers. One thing that was ordered was some oysters. And as infamous as the Atlanta people seem to only be able to do is to talk about sex, Portia sexualized the oysters and then calling it a vajayjay. That's going to come up a little bit later about this whole vajayjay and what K. Michelle is tying it to. Anyways, I think Drew ended up asking, you know, how are you doing? It seems like your persona's just not looking right, like something may be up. And she says that it doesn't feel like a safe place. And they're like, oh, well, how so? Like, what's going on? Michelle starts talking about with Drew about this whole black situation. And Drew is trying to attach K. Michelle to this black dude. And Drew was like, I am? I've only mentioned it once. So I'm not really understanding what you're talking about. What's going on? And she wasn't saying it in an attack mode. She's trying to get clarity at this point. Like, what? And then Kay goes on and tells her about the DMs that Black was sending. And she said, I didn't know anything about that. I thought you were familiar with this man. That's as far as it has went. And then they kind of just left it there. Well, Drew started talking about Black and what her relationship is like. She said, well, you know, Black is single. He can do what he wants to do. We're not attached ourselves, da-da-da-da-da. And Shamia's making all these faces. Kay is catching all of that. And like, what are you doing? Like, what's up? They're going to talk in just a second. But meanwhile, they finally switch from Drew. And Portia talks with Kelly, because I think they were like, somebody was said that they need to just have talks one-on-one instead of within the group. I think that is just a better thing to do. I think for the most case, yeah. I mean, that would do well. Pinky thought it was great to do what she did towards Phaedra within the group. She didn't call her nothing and just decided to spread it around the group of what Phaedra allegedly says. And the people that you think that are for you have been talking about you. Portia says, you know what, with Kelly, about me talking about your business and all that stuff, I really don't want that. I don't want that to happen to you or to talk ill. And I take back everything I said on that bus. So you're talking about the husband part too? Or just about the business part? Kelly accepts that. And she said, well, Portia was like, well, maybe we need to talk a little bit more one-on-one. And Kelly said, I'm good. Like, we don't need anything else. And Portia said, I can accept that. I can receive that. The women get up and they are heading out. K. Michelle and Shamia linger on. And K. Michelle was like, hey, what is going on between you and Drew? Da, 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 da. Oh, well, she's doing this. Da, 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 blah, blah, blah. And K. Michelle's like, well, you're feeding into, I thought that y'all are trying to make up and all that. Why are you doing all of this? You know, you're making faces and you're just making it sure that you and Drew can't come back from anything. And Shamia just basically stood on her thing of, I'm just honest, and I just know that her and Black gotta have something going on. She wouldn't be doing all this for 3 hours or on the phone and da 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 da. We get all that, but aren't you married? Do you really care? You have this stupid beef with Drew based upon your friendship with Portia that's no longer exists. That is so crazy. It took half of a season. It didn't even take a half of a season. Like the last quarter of the season for your relationship with Portia to be damaged, and y'all been childhood friends. Anyways, day 3. Mostly everyone is at the breakfast table, and Cynthia introduced that this is the day for the gala. Folks will be here. There will be gowns for everyone to wear, to choose if they want, and also diamonds of your choice to wear. I think that Cynthia's done a very good job at giving us some glitz glamour. Maybe the activities as far as the stables last week. Oh, that was the part I should have talked about, because how is Phaedra an equestrian? And then you didn't want to ride. You decided you wanted to look cute. Which is cool, but I just don't understand these folks, because, like, what did you come here for? Nobody got on the horse last week. She said that her hair wasn't attached. And then the producers were trying to get her to say that, don't be talking about me, you better be talking about them Beverly Hills folks. They're not attached either. I don't know if that's a dig or trying as a defense to try to say, oh, you better talk about them white folks too. But Phaedra, you want to be white. I said it. Yeah, I said it. You want to be white, so shut up. Kay was late coming down, and she finally came. Angela asked, how are you doing? Everyone was asking how she's doing and all that. And then Angela brought up, well, you said last night that you didn't feel safe. Like this wasn't a safe place. And Michelle said, no, it's not a safe place. And would you like to share a little bit? Then she starts to cry. Everybody within the group crowds around her. And they're like, well, what's going on? And then Kay starts saying that there's a plot and a scheme against me, and I know who it is, and you know what I'm talking about, da 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 da. And everybody's in this, like, what are you talking about? What's up? Portia said, let me know. I can deal with it. Portia, I hate this. Y'all know I hate this. Because I live for every moment to pounce on Portia. Portia, trying to be the leader, is like, look, let me fight it. Let me know what's going on. Even if it's me, let me know. She still wasn't talking. She wasn't saying what it was. But she was putting whomever it is on notice, and everyone's looking like, what? Angela goes on to say, well, by your facial expression, Shamia, it looks like you know what's going on. Can you say what's happening and all that? Look, K Michelle, she did tell me some things last night. Da, 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 da. Out of the respect of my friendship, she told me not to say nothing, but don't be trying to look at me and point the finger at me. It's just like y'all want to operate in this secrecy and then act like folk don't. What is going on? So Shamia's bothered by Angela calling out Shamia for her crazy facial expressions. She gets in her confessional. We black. Da, 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 da. We always do. Shamia, stop it. So since K Michelle wasn't talking, they break. Part of the group is in Cynthia's room or somebody's room, and the other group, they go outside. I don't know how they got this divide going on this so soon in the season, but even though folks don't want to say it, or y'all need to get off of Shamia, Shamia is the ringleader of all this crap. And I'm not going to change off of that. Something drastic has to happen for me to change it. Anyways, we find out that K Michelle has this tweet that she put out there in the atmosphere. And I think that this is so dumb. We got to figure out what you're thinking and saying through a tweet, K Michelle. This is dumb. You are a reality star vet yourself. So she's talking about the plot and scream. A group of y'all got to come together and scheme on me. It's just not going to work. Whatever, I'm paraphrasing. So she's outside, K Michelle, Pinky, Shamia, and Kelly. And she's saying that she caught wind last night. She ended up getting a call saying that folk wanted to, that Drew wanted to attach me to Black. And Portia and Phaedra wanted to attach me to an old rumor that happened 6 to 8 years ago. And the rumor is about her having a smelly cat. So later on, Shamia's like, look, I'm not going to be the fall guy. And I'm going to gather everyone together, and Kay's going to clear my name. Kay clears her name. Bravo. So then, Kay, where did this call come from? My guess is this is production. Who else is within the group that's calling you when you guys were all together? I think production wanted Kay to finally do something on this show, and they're feeding her all this stuff. Possibly it was talked about during their interviews. Production has this way of getting information out of certain folks. Y'all. I don't know if it was a plot or not. But Kay, you sound very immature. And I actually like you, but you just sound so stupid. So she's going off in her confessionals about Portia having synthetic hair and you're not really profiting off of this. Da, 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 da. So she's saying all this in her confessional. She's tweeting last night, but not going to them, except for one person who is always the easiest target that people like to run to, Drew Sidora. So again, it's brought to our attention about her being attached to Black. Now Kay is getting aggressive. Oh, wait, let me not say that. She starts yelling and stuff at Drew. And Drew said, basically, who you yelling at? I don't even know you. I don't even know you. I don't know you. So why would I attach you to them? And we're all trying to figure out, who cares? You're married. And don't nobody care that you're married 2 weeks ago. So Kay was ready to get up. Portia was holding her back. Drew did get up, but they was holding her back and all that stuff. Anyways, Drew said, let me go on. She calls Black and said, I'm trying to attach you to K Michelle. And he was like, I don't know why you would do that. You hardly want to be attached to me. It's falling flat. It's falling flat. So Shamia and Angela, they were getting into it. And really what's going on with Shamia is that she is so upset that Portia sunned her and won't make up with her. And she wants to blame Angela for what went on in this raggedy friendship. And it's not Angela's fault. There was hardly anything. There was hardly anything that Angela had to do. There were deep cracks and crevices within this relationship. And it couldn't sustain. And Portia put you over there and you are so mad about it. But you're a punk, ma'am. And Portia's just sitting there because she don't care. She don't want to be in friendship with you. You're pathetic. Anyways, the gala starts. It was supposed to be an outside thing, but it didn't work out that way. They had to go inside. Some of the men from the ladies, they do show up. Pinky's husband, Michelle's husband comes. And then, who else? Portia's Rent-A-Man comes. There is this Miss Tequila thing, and basically Cynthia gave everyone a crown. Why in the world was Phaedra twerking when she was being presented? The glamour and gowns falling flat. Portia said that she was wearing the same gown that she wore to the reunion season 11. The same thing that Phaedra had on, Robin Dixon had on during the reunion. That's like 3 or 4 years ago. Drew wasn't coming. She said that she had a headache. Her glam got her together, and she came right at the same time as the women were walking out. Obviously, production told her to get her tail over there. Anyway, something. K. Michelle, you just look very foolish. Because ain't no way. If someone is plotting and scheming on me, they're not stroking my hair. The other person is not going to be fanning me down. You look ridiculous right now. You're tweeting, oh, just keep watching the show. Stop it. Stop it. Phaedra and Portia would not be anywhere near me. You'd be over there. Not in my face. Not like that. No. But you've been harping on Drew because you chose your target. You're the one talking about, oh, the man in the basement. We tired of hearing about that. You haven't been around for that. That's why you knew things about Robin Dixon for that read about being a couch potato that everyone's laughing about. Ha 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 ha. Later on in the season, I know I'm going to be lighting more into you. I've just been holding back because I've been having thoughts about you since last summer or whenever that crap came out between you versus Robin. Yeah, so let's stop it. Let's stop it. Drew is your target. And now all of a sudden, oh, I was so wrong about Phaedra. But I love her. She's misunderstood. Anyways, the episode's over. I gave you a lot of fluff because I'm like, what the crap? What the crap? And I'm supposed to be excited for this season. Everybody said, oh, Atlanta, we are back. Back to what? All we got is questions. But anyways, y'all tell me your thoughts as I'm being pessimistic. Like, comment, subscribe. Until the next one, peace.